Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to do backhanded strikes in Krabi Krabong. Yes! So you might be saying to yourself, how come Chili keeps dividing everything up? Why can't you just show us forehands and backhands together and just show us how to strike? And there's some specific ways of moving in Krabi Krabong, kind of idiosyncratic technique, and I really want to highlight the individual techniques to show that off and get you moving properly. In the Filipino martial arts, there's a method of movement we call a witik, which is basically the stick starts at one side of your body, you strike, and it comes back to that side of the body. I can do it forehanded witik, I can do a backhanded witik. And we're going to use kind of that quality of motion for our backhands in Krabi. In the Filipino arts, whether you call it eskrima or kali or arnis, witiks are often done as sort of a flicking motion, in and out. And that's fine, works really well with, especially with the blade, it works really well. And it works okay with a stick too. In Krabi Krabong, however, we're going to use this more like a power jab. It's really about firing that off and just jamming it into the other person's space. Okay, first things first, yes, I am a shitty boxer. Don't hold that against me. The next thing I hope you'd notice is that the movement of a stiff jab lines up really well with the movements of the Krabi backhand. I'm not trying to cut or slice with the blade. I'm pushing it into my opponent's space to make it more difficult for them to launch their own attack. Now that you've got an idea on how to throw that backhanded strike, we need to integrate it with your forehanded strike. If you watched my video on the Krabi forehand, you know that while we're striking with one hand, we're winding up on the other one. But there's still a gap, and your opponent can take advantage of that by throwing his or her own strike. So we add in the backhand to fill that gap and prevent that from happening. From a side view, you can really see how I'm pushing that backhanded strike into my opponent's space. The idea here being to crowd them out and make it difficult for them to counterattack. First drill, you and your partner are just going to throw forehands and backhands. The forehands intercept the forehands, the backhands intercept the backhands. Now, in the way I was taught Krabi, we don't really like having the stick or sword cross the body to block. So we do it more like this. Here's what I want instead. If a strike comes from the left, you do an outside block to the left. Doesn't matter whether it's a forehand strike or a backhand strike, you push that stick out to intercept strikes coming from that side. Adding in footwork, the step and the forehand work together, so you've got extra mass and force going into your strike. The backhand covers the initiation of that step so that you're not walking into your opponent's strike. We're only doing a few steps here just so that we can stay in camera frame, but really you could do this for as many reps as the space you're in will allow. I really hope you take the time to develop your Krabi Krabong backhand strike and integrate it with your skills. If you are already a Filipino martial arts practitioner, I think you're going to get a lot out of this, and I think it's going to really add to your concept of how to throw a witik, and obviously specifically a witik backhand. I'm going to leave you with 2 video suggestions. One is this, which is on Krabi Krabong forehands, and the other is this, which the algorithm thinks you're going to like.